Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. It's the iCAD earnings. iCAD earnings is about to start. We've got 20 minutes before it starts. They've beaten on earnings. It's a 0.01 cent beat. They have beaten on earnings. They were expecting to lose per share. They were expecting to lose per share 0.08, and in fact they lost 0.07. So they've beaten on earnings. It's a slight improvement, which is good. However, it's not as much as people expected, hence the stock has sold off. There you go. It's not a blow off the top beat, but it is a beat in line with current trends. If I scroll down here, I'll share with you. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So you can see there is the beat. There are the numbers. And there it is. All right. So, okay. We're waiting for the earnings to begin. So we've got 15 minutes. So we're going to fill this part of the show with some solid gold entertainment. Some solid gold entertainment, right? So, Mike and MSK, are you here? Would you like to call back into the show? Zach Zate as well, if you'd like to call in the show. Zach Zate requested this stock. Perhaps you'd like to tell us all about it. Or if anybody else wants to call in, please do. The phone line is now open. You need to call in now because in 15 minutes the call will begin and then forever hold your peace. But if you want to call in now, the phone line is most certainly open and we'd love to have you on the show. So tune in. Get ready to rock and roll. Here he is. Mike's on the house. I wondered if Mike would call in. Here he is, the only man in the world who can be down when everybody else is up on the S&P. Stand by for iCAD. Mike, tell me all about it. How are you, mate?
This is technology.
Yeah, technology's all right. So I'm assuming you got the phone the right way up.
I've got it on landscape. Yeah.
Landscape. So the stock's going to go sideways for a while then, right? It's going to go sideways. There's no ups.
Absolutely.
You're stretching that line out a little bit. Hang on a minute, stand by because we've also got on the phone. Fight Channel is here as well. How are you, mate?
I'm good. Poor Mike.
Poor Mike. We're giving Mike a hard time. We just don't care. Mike, we got MSK. We got everyone's called in to basically laugh at you. Not laugh with you, Mike. Laugh. It's not very nice, is it? This is not what you'd expect from your friends, is it, really? Let's be honest.
No, not really.
No. I think it's a bit unnecessary, if I'm honest. I do think I've played my part though in fueling it. But
yeah, you have. You've done very well with that.
I've done very well. Did you not set a limit order?
Yeah, I did. But it went through at 550.
And what did you set it at? Do you remember?
No.
Don't know. Doesn't matter. Easy.
Who cares? It's going to make money.
Who cares? Doesn't matter, does it?
That's right. That's what you say all the time. And I'm losing already.
Yeah, exactly. It's going well, but you'll be all right. Give it a couple of days. And look at Tilray going worse and worse and worse. So you're already better off, aren't you? You're already better off just by staying where you are.
Well, when I sold 450 shares of it, I lost 480 or whatever it was. But anyway, I got my average down.
Well, that's all right then. You got your average down. He got his average down, Fight Channel. What'd you make of that?
They got his average down.
I mean, you buy back in it doesn't matter he lost money. Exactly.
Buy back in a lower price.
Buy back Tilray at a lower price. Yeah. But now he's lost money. Now he's got less money to buy it. You recommend he buys more. That's your financial advice, is it?
No, I'm still in Tilray.
You're still in Tilray.
Huh?
You're still in Tilray.
I'm keeping my 660 shares.
You just want to get him back in to make you feel good. That's not what I do. I don't. That's manipulation. That's stock manipulation right there.
I'm down $7,000 in my account from all-time high 195. I'm down to 187.
Hang on, Mike. What do you think? He's down. He's telling you to buy more. What do you reckon? Do you want to get back in?
He has more money than me.
It's got nothing to do with it. Fight Channel, do you agree? He's got more. You got more money than Mike. Well, you have right now because your phone's been the right way up for the last 3 years, so you're doing all right.
Well, I have been taking profit in, buying back in when they do dip. Get more shares.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me see if Mike's been doing that. Mike, have you been selling for profit and buying back on the dips?
On what?
Whatever you've had, whatever stocks you own, Mike. We're not in charge of your account. You're in charge. You should know this. I know if I've been selling for profit. Mike, it's a simple question. Have you been selling for profit and buying back the dips? Yes or no?
Yeah, I have on a few.
Okay. So you should be winning then.
No,
your
I got
phone
rid of
is definitely upside down. It's got to be. Because you're doing it all right. There it is. I knew it. I bloody knew it. I knew it. Hey, this is all fun and games, folks. But we've got to be professional here. We've got an earnings to do. There's people tuning in here from all around the world who want to do iCAD earnings. So final word from you, Fight Channel. Then I'll come to Then I'll come to Mike.
iCAD rubbish. I wouldn't buy it.
You wouldn't buy it? Not for you?
No,
don't
not
like
for
it?
me. It don't pay dividend. No.
Doesn't pay a dividend. It's not rich enough for you, is it? Doesn't reward you enough.
Right.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in to watch a stock that you think's rubbish. I like that. I would. Peter Jackson would love that if he could make Lord of the Rings rubbish and everyone watch it. He'd love that. That's what I've got. See, that makes me better than Peter Jackson. Fight Channel. Thanks as always for calling in. Mike, would you buy iCAD? Is it rubbish?
Yeah.
You wouldn't buy it either. Okay.
Nope.
Does anybody want to buy iCAD tonight? It's there's people tuning in for it. Mike, don't worry, mate. Give it a few days. The businesses that you own, because you own 500 now, you are a high flyer. You're like I don't know. Donald Trump meets. Who's that guy? Who was that guy? Who wore? Who was the cowboy? What was he called? Davy Crockett. Wasn't he one of the richest men in America? Davy Crockett. He owned like half of America. Right. You're like a cross between Donald Trump and Davy Crockett. Give it a few days and you'll be up, mate. Don't worry. It'll all work out fine. Have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, Martyn.
And it's glad to see you smiling again. See, you're happier now, aren't you? See?
Yeah. I'm delusional.
Yeah. That's the best way to live. Just be off your face, happy as Larry, let life go by. That's all you need. Thanks for calling in.
Peace.
There you go. Doesn't get much better than that. iCAD is just seconds away now. iCAD is our stock we're covering tonight. So if you just tuned in, tap the like button. Doesn't get better than this. It's the best investment channel in the world. It's official. You might think, my God, does anybody here make any money? Yes, we do. Mike, not so much, but the rest of us do. So anyway, but Mike's happy. Mike's happy. In fact, he's happier than most of you who have made loads of money. So I say Mike's richer anyway. That's my thoughts anyway. Right, getting back as we're waiting for iCAD to begin. This is what's scary now. As Bitcoin gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're hanging off the edge of a cliff, the losses get insane right now. Look, 88. It was 94 earlier. You've just lost $6,000 on one coin. Ouch. So this is the reality of it right now. Bitcoin has got so insanely expensive, and you'll say, no, it hasn't. It doesn't replace all the money in the world, so it's still cheap. At the end of the day, it doesn't produce anything. You can't use it as money. We've talked about this many, many times. In fact, it's going to get increasingly more expensive. Michael Saylor even tells you it's going to get more expensive as time goes by. It's going to get slower to move it. He doesn't seem to mind that. He even said doesn't mind paying money like selling real estate. What? You want to pay thousands of dollars to move some money? That's bonkers. I can send money anywhere in the world at a moment's notice for free, cost me nothing, with fraud guarantee. What a load of nonsense. But they say when you hide in plain sight, people will follow you. So now you've got a coin which is approaching $100,000, and I've said, what happens if everyone suddenly sells it? Would they ever buy it back? What if suddenly BlackRock and Michael Saylor and a handful of people sell it and it drops 80%? 100 grand to 20, lose 80 grand in a few seconds. My God. The higher this gets, the scarier this gets. Like I said earlier, I've got a video coming out later. I couldn't sleep at night if that was the case. Anyway, iCAD earnings in the house. iCAD earnings in the house. We are ready to rock and roll. Let me refresh the screen. That's why you're all here. iCAD earnings. Here we go. The play media. There it is. There's the audio. Looks like they're just doing an audio feed, no visual, so I'll provide the visuals. A little bit of tap dancing, a little bit of dancing girls, a few elephants. I'll provide the visuals. Don't worry about that. But iCAD are just providing an audio phone-in, so let's see how that works out. Okay, we have a beat tonight. We have a beat and a 16% sell-off. Oh, my God. It doesn't get much worse. Look at that. We've actually had... Thank God they beat earnings. You imagine if they'd lost on earnings tonight. We've had a beat on earnings, and the stock has gone down 20% now, 17, 19, 20, 20.5% it's gone down today, and we've beaten on earnings. Interesting concept. Anyway, we're watching this to see how this pans out. Let's see who we've got in the chat. Let's bring everybody on the show. And let's get ready for the iCAD earnings. Okay, let me just go through, make sure we're all good. We do want to get this suggested out so more people learn about the stock. Tap the like button and consider subscribing. There you go. Tap subscribe and tap the like. We've got 36 watching, 4 likes. That's no good, is it? Tap the like button and let's get this video moving. 9 likes now. Come on, everybody. What's going on? 9 likes? That's rubbish. Tap the like button. Okay. Let's see where we are. iCAD. Moments away. Let's take a pause. Let's come back to our members. Hi there. Sick today. Stephen, you said that on the last show. Now you're milking it. We gave you love and sympathy on the last show. We spammed the channel, wished you get wells, did all of that good stuff. You can't come in again and say, hi there, I'm sick today. That's basically milking it, all right? You've had your fame and glory. Move on. Deal with it. Please feel better and don't, Zach's 8, we've already wished him love 1,000 times. Don't wish him love again. That's just ridiculous. Lucas A's, I ruined the show again. Yes. William Macmillan. William Macmillan just became a member. Is William here? I thought that was from the earlier show this morning. See what happens is you have so many shows, right? So many shows that things like carry on over. The YouTube can't keep up with it. It's like no one's had this many live shows. Damn phone did not want to link. Good evening, Lucas Aids. I'm keeping my Tilray as well. iCAD is rubbish. It was voted on one of our polls. Why did you suggest it then? Why did you? Zach's 8, this was your request. You paid good money. He paid good money. He paid $10 for this. $10 you paid for this earning. You paid 5 shares of this stock just so I would cover it. There's only one winner. That's me. Bloody hell. What's going on? No, it's rubbish, says Crag. Crag doesn't like it either. People are tuning in for this awesome not iCAD. They want Mike, reality YouTube. More like Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, I'm happy, all right. Thanks. They think it'll be back to $1. Opinions on that. Okay, we'll run a poll in a moment and we'll see how it goes. No freaking way, Stacey. That's what I say, Mike. Hello, Usman is here. Usman, unfortunately, you've only got 5 minutes now before the show starts, so you can't call in today. But hopefully another show you'll call in, Usman. I could invite you to call in, but you'd only have like 2 minutes, and that's not going to serve you well. So next time, Usman, there will be a digital currency to replace the dollar, but not crypto. Well, it will be crypto, Mike. This is where you're fundamentally going wrong. There'll be a coin, a digital currency to replace the dollar, but not crypto. It will be crypto. It'll be cryptocurrency. It'll be on the blockchain, Mike. That is what it will be, right? Whether you like that or not, if the government or the Fed bring out a coin, it will be cryptocurrency, Mike. But it will be regulated by the government, or the way the Fed regulates it and all the rest of it. So, Mike, you need to understand that, Mike. There's not going to be a new concept to digital currency. It won't be like we're giving out pieces of wood, right? We're going to grow some trees in Norway, some cheap pine, and then we're going to slice it into little coins and send it around the world. It's going to be on the blockchain, Mike. So whether you like it or not, it's the same old deal. Forbes just released articles talking about Trump's plan for Bitcoin. Trump cannot influence Bitcoin. I don't know why people get so excited about that. How can Trump influence Bitcoin? The very nature of that is ridiculous. That's why people buy Bitcoin, that it can't be influenced by the government. A Trump US strategic Bitcoin reserve game changer is suddenly hurtling toward the Bitcoin price. A Trump US strategic Bitcoin reserve. That makes no sense. I can't see that for a moment. Who the heck would buy that anyway? Think about it. Perhaps we're all living in a parallel universe where a beat on earnings means that a company is rubbish. That's great. That's great. That's a good one. I agree. We're looking at iCAD now. It's just beating on earnings, and it's getting smashed. I think you're right, DJ Hayes. Just buy it when it goes. Buy it when it goes up and sell it when it goes down. Mike's been doing it right for years. Rubbish crypto, even if Trump likes it and I like him. There you go. Mike's put his flag in the sand and stood up for himself. Good afternoon, all. Hello, what? That was earlier. Oh, was it? Well, why is it showing now then? GOP's commitment to clear crypto. Why is that showing up in this chat then? Okay, Usman. iCAD looks extremely volatile. Better off buying more holo. That's it. Buy that. I don't want to throw Mike under the bus. Yeah, you do. I left that to Martyn. Much love though, Mike. Yeah. You all want me to do it, and you're all claiming no responsibility, but you're all loving it. You're all loving it, right? You're all stoking the pot, but saying nothing to do with me. Quite easy. He's gonna buy a load of Bitcoin up when he gets in power. That will make no difference. That will make no difference. If Donald Trump wakes up tomorrow morning and buys hundreds or thousands of Bitcoin, it won't change anything. Why do people think if Donald Trump buys a few Bitcoin, the price is going to go up? That's not what's happening at the moment. Anyway, that's not how it works. But if you want to think that, then carry on. Anyway, we've got 1 minute to go. We're listening in now to the iCAD earnings. I'm about to be shush. Most of you will be glad of that. I had someone come on the show once and say, could you talk less? But that's the whole purpose of this show, is me talking. If I don't talk, what is the show? There is no show. It just goes silent. And then for about 10 seconds, you go, oh, thank God for that. And then 10 seconds later, you go, well, nothing's happening. 30 seconds later, you turn off. So it wouldn't work. Those that come in here say, it'd be better if you didn't talk. Need to watch another show. Right. Okay. Here we go. We're on standby. I am listening. I've got the audio coming in. So that's what I'm listening to right now. I keep muting it because it keeps going through to the other part of the studio. So we just want to mute that for a moment. Okay. You can't hear it, but I can hear it. Expect them to be a couple of minutes late. That's quite typical. Most earnings are 1 or 2 minutes late. The worst was 40 minutes. That was quite a drama. But stand by. Earnings about to begin here for iCAD. iCAD earnings just moments away. Let's listen in again. They're still playing audio. We're still listening in. If you can tap the like button, that would be great. And if you can click subscribe, that would be wonderful. A Seinfeld show about nothing. Yeah, nothing. Should I do that? Should I do a show about see how long? Should I make a video of me doing nothing? That'd be funny. Should I record a video of me doing nothing? Would anyone, and just call it nothing? I might do it.
Operator assistance during the conference, please press *0 on your telephone keypad. Please note this conference is being recorded. I will now turn the conference over to your host, Rosalind Christian, Investor Relations. You may begin.
Thank you, operator. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for iCAD's third quarter 2024 earnings call. On the call, we have Dana Brown, our President and Chief Executive Officer, and Eric Longquist, our Chief Financial Officer. Before turning the call over to Dana, I would like to remind everyone that we'll be making forward-looking statements on the call today. These forward-looking statements are based on iCAD's current expectations and are subject to uncertainty and changes in circumstances. Actual results may differ materially from these expectations. For a list of factors that could cause actual results to differ, please see today's press release and our filings with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. iCAD undertakes no obligation to revise or update any statements to reflect events or circumstances after the date of this conference call. Also, please note that management will refer to certain non-GAAP financial measures. Management believes that these measures provide meaningful information for investors and reflect the way they view the operating performance of the company. You can find a reconciliation of our GAAP to non-GAAP measures at the end of the earnings release. With that, I'll turn the call over to Dana.
Thank you, Rosalind, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased to announce Q3 was another successful quarter for iCAD, with revenue growth of 4% compared to the third quarter of 2023. In the quarter, we saw continued progress with our transformation strategy, including the transition to cloud, or software as a service, through the growth of our Profound Cloud platform, as well as global expansion of our products and technology. Before we dive into the highlights of this quarter, I'd like to provide some detail on how iCAD is positioned for sustained growth by multiple industry drivers. iCAD is uniquely positioned in the rapidly expanding AI-powered breast cancer detection market, where our solutions are backed by more than 50 clinical studies and presentations and key global clearances, including from the FDA. Our technology can reduce radiologists' reading time by 52%, and we empower providers to detect cancer earlier and with greater confidence. While we have a market-leading position, AI adoption in mammography remains low, with approximately only 37% of U.S. sites currently using AI. This presents a substantial opportunity for expansion, particularly as our global presence spans more than 50 countries and is growing. In case you missed it, yesterday we announced FDA clearance for iCAD's Profound Detection version 4.0. This new version marks another significant milestone in our track record of industry-leading high-performance AI solutions for breast cancer detection. This latest version offers a 22% improvement in detecting challenging and aggressive cancers over our previous version, version 3, empowering radiologists to quickly and accurately identify hard-to-find cancers with greater precision. Version 4.0 now also integrates prior exam analysis in the AI calculation, emulating a radiologist's own comparative approach, which enhances diagnostic confidence and accuracy. With an 18% reduction in false positives, It also improves reading efficiency, diagnostic accuracy, and patient experience by minimizing unnecessary follow-ups. This clearance not only strengthens our competitive edge, but also supports revenue growth as both new and existing customers upgrade to version 4.0. This new version, combined with the recent launch of Profound Cloud, marks our shift to a software-as-a-service model, enabling scalable, seamless updates and creating a high-margin, recurring revenue stream. With our pioneering technology, strong market foothold, and strategic shift to SaaS, iCAD is well positioned to capture substantial growth opportunities in the years ahead. Turning to our Q3 deal highlights, in the third quarter, we closed a total of 85 deals, 52 perpetual, 20 subscription, and 13 cloud. Some of these deals included the University of California, San Diego, or UCSD. This was a large, strategic 3-year cloud deal for us. UCSD licensed 2D and 3D detection plus density, and UCSD performs around 90,000 exams per year. Last quarter, we announced our partnership with U.S. Radiology Specialists, and specifically that Winsong Radiology, one of their premier imaging providers, would be the first to champion implementation of our Profound AI Breast Health Suite. You may recall U.S. Radiology is one of the country's premier providers of diagnostic imaging services, with more than 175 outpatient imaging centers across 13 states. This quarter, we secured Charlotte Radiology, another imaging provider for U.S. Radiology. It's a 3-year cloud deal. Other new deals won this quarter include Alexandra Marine General Hospital, Madison Regional in Wisconsin, Allegheny Memorial in North Carolina, and Parkview Medical in Texas. Turning to some examples of existing customer migrations, Orlando Health signed a deal to migrate from their on-prem solution with no support or service agreement to a 3-year subscription agreement. El Rio Health signed a migration deal to move to cloud, as well as upgrade to the latest 3D solution. Cleveland Clinic signed a support agreement for their on-prem solution to bridge them to a 2025 cloud migration. And Citizens Memorial upgraded and expanded their on-prem solution to add in 3D. And Simon Med added 5 additional locations for Profound to their existing footprint of over 300 locations. In this quarter, we also expanded iCAD's growing global reach. We forged new commercial distribution alliances in countries such as Dominican Republic, France, Spain, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, and with leading healthcare technology companies, including Tamur, Ozil, and DeepSea, expanding the availability of our Profound AI solutions globally. We received regulatory clearance in South Africa and secured our first deal in collaboration with our AI platform partner, Blackford, a subsidiary of Bayer. Blackford is an experienced partner in the radiology AI space, with over a decade of experience working in partnership with leading hospitals and groundbreaking healthcare technology providers. Blackford provides a core AI platform where iCAD solutions, including Profound AI detection, density, and risk, are delivered as a single-source technology platform to improve patient outcomes. Our first joint customer is SCP Radiology in Cape Town, South Africa, who implemented 2D detection and density on the Blackford AI platform. SCP Radiology processes 22,000 exams per year. Lastly, expansion opportunities are well underway in Chile, Argentina, Mexico, and Japan. We expect to be active in these countries in the next 12 months. Turning now for a quick review of our marketing efforts and third quarter conference and publication activity. In August, our U.S. team participated in the 28th Annual Mammography Conference in Santa Fe, New Mexico. This is a smaller, highly targeted show whose audience is primarily radiologists and imaging professionals. We were selected to participate in the show's AI workshop, where radiologists were able to compare their reading of up to 5 cases against selected AI detection technology. We also attended the annual meeting of the Association of Medical Imaging Management. With over 600 attendees, AHRA represents management at all levels of hospital imaging departments, freestanding imaging centers, and group practices. Our commercial team generated numerous leads and met with several of our large key accounts. Also of note, as of September 10, 2024, the Food and Drug Administration requires that all mammogram reports in the United States include a breast density assessment. The report must state whether the patient's breasts are dense or not dense. The report should also include information about the risk of developing breast cancer and how dense tissue can make it harder to detect breast cancer on a patient's mammogram. The decision was originally published as an update for U.S. mammography regulations in March 2023. Prior to the update, 39 states and the District of Columbia complied with dense breast reporting. Breast density refers to the amount of fibroglandular tissue that relates to fat and is identified either visually or quantitatively on mammography. Based on the Breast Imaging Reporting Data System, or BI-RADS, there are 4 categories of density. Mammograms are considered the gold standard in breast cancer detection and mortality. However, the effectiveness of mammograms can be compromised by breast density. More than half of U.S. women over 40 years of age are classified as having dense breast tissue, typically making cancers more difficult to detect on a mammogram. It is important for patients to learn about their breast density because density often results in an increase in false positive findings and a reduction in cancer detection. iCAD's Profound Density solution uses AI to analyze the mammography images to determine the BI-RADS density classification. Our solution is unique in that it is 1, an image-based 2-part AI algorithm, and 2, more closely aligns to the current radiologist's approach to assessing density versus other automated solutions. The FDA mandate for mammography facilities to disclose breast density information is a crucial step towards improving breast cancer detection and prevention. While the requirement provides patients with valuable knowledge about their breast health, it's also essential to address the ongoing challenges related to insurance coverage and access to additional screening modalities. Policies like the Find It Early Act ensure that all women, regardless of their financial circumstances, have equitable access to the necessary tools for early breast cancer diagnosis and improved outcomes. Let's now turn to our research and technology updates. In the third quarter, we began participation in the Renaissance trial, sponsored by the National Cancer Institute. Detailed information about this trial can be found on the website clinicaltrials.gov. In summary, this trial is using iCAD's Profound Density solution to evaluate the change in breast density over time for premenopausal women to determine a personalized approach for breast cancer prevention options by utilizing the lowest effective dose of tamoxifen. In addition, iCAD's Profound Risk will be used to evaluate change in the estimates of the likelihood of developing breast cancer from baseline to 18 months and compare changes by dose group. Selection for participation in this study not only validates our technology, but it also expands our reach with partners and potential customers. You may recall from prior calls that our Profound Risk has been classified as a de novo device, first of its kind, by the FDA, and we are working through the submission process with the FDA. In parallel, we received approval for the launch of our own Profound Risk observational trial titled User Acceptance of a Short-Term Image-Derived Risk Tool in Screening Mammography. This study is now IRB approved and site identification is underway. iCAD's Profound Risk will be available for prospective evaluation on those women who consent to the study. Outcome data and survey data will be utilized to assist in operationalizing risk in screening programs. Late first quarter, we announced commercial availability of Profound Cloud, powered by Google's cloud architecture and health AI initiatives. Our innovative software as a service, or SaaS platform, provides medical providers with a cost-effective, secure, and scalable means to access and deploy the latest Profound Breast Health suite of AI solutions. Profound Cloud continued the momentum that last quarter, and we've continued to secure more deals than anticipated for our newly released cloud platform. In its first 2 full quarters of U.S. availability, Profound Cloud has processed over 100,000 cases, showing rapid early adoption. Achieving processing speeds more than 50% faster than many traditional on-premises solutions, the Profound Cloud is an efficient solution for deploying the Profound AI suite. With recent global distribution partnerships and regulatory clearances, the availability of Profound Cloud is expanding around the globe. The healthcare landscape is shifting towards technology as a service models, avoiding the pitfalls of investing in rapidly outdated hardware and software. As AI relies heavily on specialized hardware like graphical processing units or GPUs, setting up and upgrading both software and hardware becomes increasingly complex. Cloud-based solutions like Profound Cloud address this challenge by providing software as a service to ensure that all customers have access to the latest technology without the initial hardware investment, support contracts, and constant updates. Moreover, Profound Cloud provides facility administrators with the ability to update configurations and perform administrative tasks in multiple languages. Profound Cloud is designed to support patients, providers, and partners while facilitating the management of diverse data types critical for comprehensive healthcare analysis. This includes 2D and 3D mammography images alongside all cancer images, and in parallel, it stores limited images of benign, recall, and normal cases. Profound Cloud also manages profound detection and density assessment results, radiology and pathology reports, while ensuring seamless access to critical diagnostic information. Importantly, Profound Cloud securely handles de-identified patient information and provider data, adhering to strict privacy and compliance standards. The comprehensive approach enables robust analytics for informed decision-making. We are at the front end of this business evolution, with significant transformation expected over the next 3 years. In the short term, as we promote and support more and more customers choosing our cloud platform, we will intentionally sacrifice immediate recognition of some GAAP revenue and cash flow, as we will recognize revenue and receive cash on a monthly basis rather than upfront. It would not be unusual to see top-line revenue flatten out as we go through this transition. That is why, as a metric of success, we provide our annual reoccurring revenue metrics and deal counts. Also, as we go through this transformation, we will deploy some capital from our strong cash position to support this strategy. And over time, we believe this strategy should drive strong economic returns as we become a more profitable company. Furthermore, as the reoccurring revenue builds, we will be entering each quarter with more and more visibility and predictability. As an example of the reoccurring build, the 13 cloud deals closed in Q3 add more than $850,000 to our backlog for both billings and GAAP revenue. To illustrate this short-term impact on top-line revenue and cash, let's look at a hypothetical example. Assume a perpetual deal is worth $36. With perpetual, we recognize revenue and bill all $36 up front. Compare that to a $36 3-year cloud deal. With cloud, we recognize revenue and collect cash over the term of the agreement. Each quarter, we would recognize $3 as revenue. Billing would be annually in advance at $12. To compare the impact on revenue in the quarter, we would recognize $36 for a perpetual deal versus $3 for cloud. This illustrates the short-term impact on revenue. As we've stated, we will be intentionally sacrificing immediate recognition of some GAAP revenue and cash flow as we go through the transition. Top-line revenue may flatten or even drop in the short term as we go through this transition, and more deals choose cloud versus perpetual. This is a normal cycle experienced by companies going through a perpetual to SaaS transition. The long-term benefit of the cloud deal is that it would contribute $33 to backlog for revenue. Moving through this transition, our building backlog will result in revenue and cash flow becoming more stable and predictable. In addition to this benefit, iCAD will have the opportunity to renew the deal at the end of the 3 years, therefore creating an ongoing revenue stream versus the perpetual one and done. I'll now turn the call over to Eric for a detailed review of our Q3 2024 financials.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Dana. I'll now summarize our financial results for the third quarter ended September 30th, 2024. As noted in prior earnings calls, the steady shift to a recurring revenue model from a perpetual model has numerous benefits, including better business visibility, more efficient expense management, and an improved ability to predict future cash flow. That said, this shift will also create lower GAAP revenue and negative cash flow in the short term as our SaaS revenues grow. To help illustrate our progress in this transition, we began reporting the following annual recurring, or ARR, metrics in Q3 23. Total ARR, or TARR, represents the annualized value of subscription license, maintenance contracts, and active cloud services at the end of a reporting period. Maintenance services ARR, or MARR, represents the annualized value of active perpetual license maintenance service contracts at the end of the reporting period. Subscription ARR, or SARR, represents the annualized value of active subscription or term licenses at the end of a reporting period. Cloud ARR, or CARR, represents the annualized value of active cloud services contracts at the end of a reporting period. Total ARR, or TARR, was $9.3 million as of September 30th, 2024, up from $8.4 million in the third quarter of 2023. Maintenance services ARR, or MARR, was $6.7 million, down from $7 million at the end of the third quarter of 2023. This decline relates in part to service customers migrating to our subscription or cloud products. Subscription ARR, or SARR, was $2.2 million, up from $1.4 million at the end of the third quarter of 2023. Cloud ARR, or CARR, was $0.4 million, representing the accumulation of the first 2 quarters of recurring revenue from our cloud product. In addition to the recurring revenue metrics noted above, we also began disclosing the total number of orders relating to the perpetual product, subscription, and cloud deals. The intent of this metric is to illustrate the pure volume of sales without the complexity of the multiple GAAP revenue streams. We are pleased to report that in the third quarter of 2024, we closed 52 perpetual, 20 subscription, and 13 cloud orders. Year to date, we have secured 188 perpetual, 65 subscription, and 23 cloud orders. Please note that these counts include all new, upsell, and migration deals and exclude standard renewals. Revenue for the quarter was $4.2 million, an increase of $0.1 million or 4% over the third quarter of 2023. The increase is attributable to some of the key deals Dana noted earlier in the call, helping to continue the momentum of our recently expanded sales team. Third quarter 2024 product revenue was $2.5 million, up 14% over the prior year. Service revenue was $1.7 million, down 9% over the prior year. This decline was largely driven by service customers migrating to our subscription or cloud products. Moving on to gross profit. On a percentage of revenue basis, gross profit was 86% for the third quarter of 2024, which was in line with the third quarter of 2023. On a pure dollar basis, gross profit for the quarter was $3.6 million, as compared to $3.5 million last year. Total operating expenses for the third quarter of 2024 were $5.6 million, a $0.9 million or 19% year-over-year increase. The largest driver of the increase was investments in R&D and regulatory to support plans for both product and regional expansion. This increase was partially offset by additional streamlining of expenses in G&A. GAAP net loss from continuing operations for the third quarter of 2024 was $1.8 million, or 7 cents per diluted share, compared with a GAAP net loss from continuing operations of $1 million, or 4 cents per diluted share, for the third quarter of 2023. Non-GAAP adjusted EBITDA loss for the third quarter of 2024 was $1.5 million, compared with $0.8 million in the third quarter of 2023. Moving to the balance sheet, as of September 30th, 2024, the company had cash and cash equivalents of $18.8 million, compared to cash and cash equivalents of $21.7 million as of December 31st, 2023. Net cash used for operating activities for the 9 months ended September 30th, 2024 was $2.6 million, compared to $3.5 million for the first 9 months of 2023. This improvement of 26% year-over-year is due primarily to stronger sales performance in 2024. We believe we have sufficient cash resources to fund our planned current operations with no need to raise additional funding. This concludes the financial highlights of our presentation. I would now like to turn the call back over to the operator to lead the Q&A.
Thank you. At this time, we will be conducting a question-and-answer session. If you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. A confirmation tone will indicate your line is in the question queue. You may press star 2 if you would like to remove your question from the queue. For participants using speaker equipment, it may be necessary to pick up your handset before pressing the star keys. One moment, please, while we poll for questions. Your first question for today is from Per Osland with Craig-Hallum Capital.
Thanks. Good afternoon, Dana and Eric. Let's start with deal counts this quarter. Obviously, I think you've done a good job of communicating the revenue impact of the transition and how we need to be thinking about that. So I think ARR and deal count end up kind of being almost equal in terms of where our focus ought to be. How would you characterize third quarter deal count versus your own expectations? It sounds like cloud is running maybe a little bit ahead of expectation. Was the overall count kind of where you thought? And is there seasonality in there? Because I think I tend to think Q3 is a little bit a little sketchy sometimes with deal flow. Is that a fair characterization?
Hey, Per, maybe this is Dana. I'll jump in first and then turn it over to Eric. But I think just to the last part of your question around seasonality, that definitely impacts us in third quarter from an OUS perspective. Most, if not all of Europe, it feels like they're on holiday throughout, July, August, maybe sometimes even a little bit into September. I think from a U.S. perspective, you have a little bit of, we used to call it brain drain that could happen over the summer months. People get back online, right, and figuring out what the rest of the year strategy is going to look like once we pass kind of the Labor Day. So those two forces in general tend to make Q3 a little depressed compared to the other quarters of the year. But I think if you probably went back, through iCAD's timeline, and really kind of any software company's timeline, you would see those effects happening. Eric, do you want to chime in with any other either specifics or commentary you might have?
Sure. No, I think that was right on, Dana, about the seasonality. We see this every Q3, specifically in OUS, as far as people on vacations and so forth. That said, I think as far as the deal count, the 85 we reported was up quite a bit from last year in Q3. Also, I think that's when we first started reporting deal counts with 67 deals in Q3 of 23. So the counts were up. I think cloud continues to exceed our internal plans as far as how fast we're going to cloud. So 10 deals last quarter and 13 this quarter, I think both exceed our expectations. So those 13 cloud deals, I think two of the biggest ones were what Dana talked about with UCSD and the Charlotte Radiology expansion. We get very little revenue from those deals right now that are in Q3. Even for ARR, very few of those have gone live because it normally they'll go live in the following quarter. So we'll get a bump in ARR when those go live. So the volume and the ARR we'll get from those deals, I think, is we were generally happy with on the U.S. side.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you to both of you for that. Maybe a big picture question as cloud is kind of seated in the marketplace and subscription is prominent for you guys. I think I've always felt like those offerings would help you access customers you wouldn't have accessed that didn't want to take on a perpetual license, and that it would also help you in OUS markets where there isn't the same level of access. I'm curious what your thoughts are, and I suspect that it's very early on this front, but if there are customers out there that may have, let's say, a Hologic system and maybe using Hologic's AI as well, does your ability to offer a subscription or cloud model without that upfront cost, does that help you get into more of those customers that might otherwise not have just entertained you straight away just because they felt like they had something? And in this case, now you can kind of go in there with maybe a little bit less upfront cost and get people to kind of utilize you side by side with something else.
Well, I think in general, again, following the pattern, right? Picking up on the last part of your question, subscription and cloud does improve both affordability and accessibility to customers. And we're actually seeing that across the whole spectrum of customers, right? So large or small, US versus OUS. It isn't necessarily, I'll say, unique to any particular equipment configuration they may have, like, Hologic versus, our partner GE, but it's definitely improving, right? The quantity of customers that can look at the solution and, figure out how to afford it and take advantage of it. So.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it's kind of what I expected, but I thought I would ask the question. All right, one more for me for now. With the change in density regulations that went into play in September, you've had a density product for a while. Some states were mandating it before, but now that you have it at the broader level, is that changing conversations with customers, potential, current, and otherwise, in terms of really taking on the full iCAD suite?
Probably not in terms of like a significant quantity of additional density licenses sold. So, I would say the pattern we have seen in our customer base or, imaging centers looking at AI, they already understand the challenges in reading mammography for women with dense breasts, right? So they were already looking for a solution that would help them find those subtle and very hard to find cancers. So and one of our, I would say, most popular bundle packages, right, is density plus detection. So I think, if anything, it's helped to reinforce and give a confidence to a decision they already made. It probably helps a little bit more in terms of just considering an AI solution to assist a radiologist overall, because now there is this, I would say kind of nationwide recognition that density is one of the leading risk factors, and it makes reading mammography, right, or mammograms very difficult. So, but it's not like this is a breakout market driver for the density solution kind of in and of itself, if that kind of makes sense. So, because as you mentioned, I mean, we've had a density solution in the market now over 10 years. There was a nice quantity of states that had begun adopting, I'll say kind of like this guideline, right, or this requirement before the federal, right, or nationwide mandate went into effect in September. Speaking right from Komen, right, it was something that we advocated for at a state level and at the federal level from an advocacy standpoint. So it's been something that's been making this kind of slow and steady progress kind of all along. If anything, it just helps reinforce and makes this decision to go ahead and buy the bundle even an easier decision, more straightforward decision.
Sure. That makes total sense. Thanks. I appreciate the answers.
Oh, yeah.
As a reminder, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1. Your next question for today is from Yale Jen with Laidlaw & Company.
Good afternoon, and thanks for taking the questions. My first question is that first, congrats for the FDA approval of the version 4. So the question is that how soon you anticipate this version will be incorporated or being sold in your product of different models, subscription, perpetual, or clouds at this point?
Yeah. So first, thanks for the congrats on version 4.0. As you can probably imagine, it made for a very happy Friday and weekend for our team. And so we right now are going through a list of our key customers to understand their preferred deployment model. To your point, right? Is it cloud? Is it perpetual? And then we'll make the decision of which implementation platform will come out first with 4.0. But we're only talking a matter of weeks, right? So the first shipment, if you will, of 4.0 will probably happen in mid-December, so right after RSNA. And then we'll follow up with the next implementation platform just a few weeks later. So it'll be a fast process for us.
And so going forward for new customs, regardless which model they are in, I mean business model they are in, are they going to immediately get the version 4 to start with? Whereas the existing customer may have a time for sort of transition instead?
Yeah, I would expect that most new customers would choose version 4. There will be a period of time. I'm trying to think of a good reason why they would want version 3. I really can't think of anything, but yeah, they would receive version 4.0. So.
Okay. One more question here is that just from the reporting perspective, with the increasing of subscription as well as the cloud model, the product revenue line, would that going down more quickly, or that's not necessarily the case? The product versus the service line in the P&L.
Hi, Yale, it's Eric. You're talking quarter over quarter?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So in that product line is perpetual, subscription, and cloud are all in that line the way it's reported right now. The main drop quarter over quarter is perpetual deals.
Right. So the cloud as well as the subscription model revenue or portion of will be allocated to or assigned to the product line. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe the last question here is that just look at over this period of the time, we still see a lot of perpetual deals. Has something to do with the GE part of the business, or that's a very different piece where those deals come from? And thanks.
Eric, do you want to take that one as well, or
I can. Yes.
Yeah.
GE is 100% perpetual for us for new deals. We do have some service contracts through GE customers, which are ratable, and they're in that service line. But all new deals continue to be perpetual through GE. So that's a big portion of the perpetual revenue that flows into our P&L right now. That's correct.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks a lot. Congrats on the good migration at this point, and best luck for the quarters going forward.
Thank you, Dale.
We have reached the end of the question and answer session, and I will now turn the call over to Dana for closing remarks.
Thank you, operator. In conclusion, I want to just reiterate, as we've demonstrated on the call today, our demand for our technology is continuing to be strong. Also, as we discussed our clinical trials that we're involved in and other publications, the evidence supporting it continues to grow. And as we noted several marquee deals, our team continues to secure opportunities with some of the most prestigious and esteemed healthcare facilities worldwide. On behalf of the management team, I think I'm confident in saying that we remain optimistic about the company and its future, and we firmly believe in our ability to generate significant shareholder value. Thank you all for your time today, and have a great rest of the evening.
There we go. Another report done. Thank you very much for tuning in for iCAD. That was requested by Zach Zate. Thank you very much for your request. Thank you, Zach Zate. I shall also upload that as a video itself and put out as well. So that'll go out optimized later on. While we've been doing the call, I've been catching up with some videos that need to go out. I've just put out 2 videos that you might find interesting. Let me share with you here. If you go to the homepage of the channel and click videos, I've just put this out 12 minutes ago and 6 minutes ago, brand new. During that call, that's what I was doing. NVIDIA fear, NVIDIA inflation fear, how I feel it benefits the stock. You might agree, disagree. We've got a poll running and you can take part in it. It's getting very, very popular on the community tab. Links are all in there. And also, this was for Robin Burrows. He's asked me to do Symbotic earnings tomorrow. And there is Symbotic earnings. Remember, all these earnings are done by request for you. If you want them done, it's a members perk and a $5 super chat, and I will cover the earnings. This is the promotional video for it. You might want to check it out. And also, 2 hours ago, if you missed it, there was news about XRP as well. So there you go. Some stuff just gone out for you, and there's more I'm working on. Bitcoin as well I'm working on at the moment. So that's it from me. Thank you very much indeed for joining me on today's call. That's it. So I'm going to just end the stream there. I don't know how many people. Very, very quiet one. This one didn't expect this one to be that busy. But thank you for Zach Zate for asking me to cover it, and thanks for the super chat. And that's very, very kind of you. What I'm going to do now is send you all to the extra channel while I can complete the rest of getting to some shorts and a t-shirt, get out of my suit, and focus on getting these last few videos out in the next couple of hours as promised. So it's automatically going to take you there. But here is the link to the extra channel. So extra, whoops a daisy, extra live now. There you go. Extra live now. Pin that to the top. That's it. We're not going to do day trade of the day. It's very, very quiet. We've already done it today in the chat. So I'm going to get on with getting these videos out. Thank you very much indeed for tuning in. Absolute pleasure as always. That's it from me. Have a great night, everyone, says Cedar Trees. See you back in the morning. Tomorrow we have got, let me just close that down, iCAD. We have got, what day is it tomorrow? After hours ASTS tomorrow, and then Symbiotic coming up on the 18th. And then, of course, we have the 20th. We've got NVIDIA. That's it from me. As we say on the BBC, we hope you've enjoyed the evening. Don't forget to turn off your TV set. Good evening and take care. Bye-bye for now.